Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome. Let's take the national anthem. The national anthem. The Unilag anthem.
And I say amen. Before you sit, could you please recognize the person standing, sitting next to you?
In the interest of peace and stability, thank you very much. Please be seated. We'll let you meet some of the principal officers, special guests of honor, and guest speakers, as well as chairman of this event. I call Mr. Sheon Ajidagba.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayo Makinde. The integration of artificial intelligence in e-learning will make personalized learning at scale a reality. Today makes it exactly 372 days, and that is 24 months and 7 days. We had Unilag Distance Learning Institute's second International Colloquium, which had the theme hybridization of instructional deliveries in the energy global higher education ecosystem. Today, we are all gathered at the Nurudeen Alao Auditorium for the third International Colloquium with the theme, the Massive and Ubiquitous Invasion of the education landscape by artificial intelligence, Whither Open, flexible and distance learning. There will be paper presentations as well as panel discussion on issues relating to the above theme. Distinguished guests, it's my singular honor, pleasure, and delight to respectfully recognize the special guest of honor, Chief Olusegun Matthew Okikiola Ogumboye Aremu Obasanjo, GCFR, former military head of state, and the first democratically elected president of Nigeria. A round of applause for him, please. In the same vein, I humbly recognize the chairman of today's occasion, Professor Kabiru Isiaku, the officer of the Niger, fellow Academy of Science, and of course the chairman of today's occasion. A round of applause for him. Our keynote speaker for today, with a warm applause, Professor Shama Ramesh. A round of applause for him. The chief host, the first female vice chancellor of University of Lagos, and the 13th vice chancellor in University of Lagos history, Professor Folashade Tolulope Ogunshola, the Order of the Niger, and the fellow Academy of Science, and more importantly, the first female vice chancellor to bag the second highest civilian national honor in Nigeria. A round of applause for her. Our vice chancellor is here in company of members of management. With a warm applause, permit me to respectfully recognize the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Management Services, Professor Lucien Obina Chukwu, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Research, Professor Bola Obo. Our acting registrar is here, Mrs. Olakunle Esther Makinde, MNIM. The Provost of the College of Medicine, Professor David Oke. The Director, Academic Planning, Professor Matthew Olusoji Ilori. The Director, Quality Assurance and Servicom Unit, Professor Olufemi Saibu. The host of this event, the Director, Distant Learning Institute, the Professor of Economics, Professor Riskat Oladoyin Dauda. With the kind permission of my Vice Chancellor, permit me to recognize some of the principal officers, former, that are here. The 12th Vice Chancellor of University of Lagos, Professor Oluwatoyin Temitayo Ogundipe, FAS. Former Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Research, Distinguished Professor Babajide Alao, FAS. Former Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Research, Professor Oluwole Familoni, FAS. The former Director, Distant Learning Institute, and former Vice Chancellor, Elizabeth University, Professor Olukayode Amond. And the immediate past Director, Distant Learning Institute, with a warm applause, Professor Uchenna Udiani. Former Registrar and Secretary to the Governing Council of University of Lagos, Dr. Taiwo Folashade Ipaye, FNIM. All deans that are here, all directors, all heads of department, all deputy directors, we warmly welcome you. And more importantly, our distinguished guests, please give yourself a resounding round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Jidagwa. I'm going to resist the temptation this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the temptation is when I hear words that are not sounded properly, my temptation, even when I'm listening to radio or watching TV, the temptation is to say, For instance, Mr. Jidagwa, please look the other side. Look the other side. The word is colloquium, right? Where is a colloquium? I protest in my mind. So that's just one of them. So if you don't know how to sound that word, ask Shion Kimbaloye, who will ask me, and then we'll get there. By the way, Shion Kimbaloye, will be hosting the panel conversation. He's already here with us in the hall, and he will be bringing up the participants. Let's get straight into it and welcome. Well, so now anyone who comes here can stand on existing protocol. Now it is existing. Please welcome for the opening speech by the Director, Distance Learning Institute, Professor Risikat Dauda.
Please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. I welcome you all to the 3rd International Colloquium. I think it's right. Of the Distance Learning Institute of this prestigious university. The first series of the International Colloquium, which was held on September 16, 2021, focused on the theme, Recalibrating Open Distance and E-Learning for Resilient and Inclusive Education. While the second series critically examined the theme, Hybridization of Instructional Deliveries in the Emerging Global Higher Education Ecosystem, held on August 1st, 2023. Today, we are here again to focus on the theme, the massive and ubiquitous invasion of the education landscape by artificial intelligence, whether open, flexible, or distance learning. When Alan Turing started his exploration of artificial intelligence, it started with a fundamental question. If humans use available information as well as a reason to solve problems and make decisions, so why can't machines do the same? This was the logical framework of his 1950 paper. Despite this paper's impact on computing and machinery intelligence, the full grasp of the extent to which this important invention will invade every area of human endeavor must have been elusive during this period. Today, AI has become an integral part of human activities, and it has been widely adopted in every area of human life, including education. Artificial intelligence incursion in the education sector is rapidly reshaping traditional approaches to teaching and learning paradigms. This includes personalized learning, which provides customized educational content based on peculiar characteristics of students as analyzed by AI algorithms. Similarly, AI has found its application in the area of intelligent tutoring systems, administrative automation, predictive analytics, and language processing. This invasion from AI has enhanced educational engagement tremendously, bringing about increasing accessibility, efficiency, and scalability. The advent of COVID-19 has called for a total re-examination of the traditional approach to the mode of instructional delivery, giving serious doubt in the capacity of the government to provide the required physical support to sustain this traditional arrangement. Subsequently, distance learning has gained significant traction as a viable alternative, especially with the advancements in technology. Distance learning education has evolved from simple correspondence courses to sophisticated online platforms supported by AI and other advanced technologies. This evolution has brought about significant expansion in terms of educational opportunity based on access to education, flexibility, and inclusiveness. Currently, distance learning education has benefited immensely from AI with the introduction of intelligent monitoring systems such as Carnegie's Learning Mafia and IBM's Watson Tutor, which provides step-by-step assistance in subjects like math and language learning. Similarly, the introduction of virtual reality and augmented reality have provided such immersive learning environments for distance learners. As technology continues to improve, distance learning will likely play a more integral role in the global educational landscape. The incursion of AI into the educational space did not happen without challenges. Some of the noticeable challenges include equity and access, which stem from the existing digital divide between the rich and poor. If not properly managed, it can exacerbate existing inequalities, particularly affecting students from low-income backgrounds or remote areas. Another important challenge is data privacy and security. Education institutions store a lot of sensitive personal data of students and staff. Thus, extensive use of AI may make them more vulnerable to cyber attacks. On the part of both the students and lecturers, over-reliance on AI can lead to reduced human oversight, which may diminish the role of educators and the human element of teaching. This poses a great threat to the quality of education. Ethical concerns are another major challenge. Informed consent is crucial to ensure the ethical use of AI in education, and many students may not be aware of it. These challenges are surmountable if there is a strong political will on the part of the decision makers in education to accept the invasion of AI into the educational space and devise strategies to ensure the ethical use of this important technology. Some solutions may include an equity initiative to bridge the digital divide and robust data governance to provide and guarantee adequate protection of students' information. Institutions should consider formulating ethical policy guides to promote informed use of AI within the institution. As an institution working with the open distance learning space, it is a part of our commitment to promote responsible use of AI for educational purposes. And this informed our investment in an event like this, where a free atmosphere is created to generate useful ideas, to guide decisions in providing a future-ready educational space for current and potential students of our dear Distance Learning Institute, University of Lagos. It is my belief that serious academic inquiry and exchange of ideas by seasoned scholars at this international colloquium will engender policy prescriptions that will promote the responsible use of AI for educational purposes in Nigeria. I'm therefore confident that the intellectual discourse at this colloquium will advance the frontiers of knowledge. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, I welcome you warmly to this important occasion. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Prof. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? Someone has come to accost me there and say, how is it pronounced? And I opened what we call the Daniel Jones Dictionary for him to listen to. So there's the UK version and there's the US version. Choose the one that you want. But don't forget that if you speak US too much in Nigeria, you can be arrested. I'm not going to say more than that. Let's welcome for the welcome address the Vice Chancellor, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, OON-FAS. If your applause is enough, we shall protest. Keep it going if you are a student until she gets here.
Thank you very much. Let me say that before I came up here, I spent time practicing that word. So you can judge me. I will stand on existing protocol because it's pretty long, but I must mention some names. I want to welcome to our campus Chief Obasanjo, our special guest and former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I also must mention the chairman of the occasion, Professor Kabiru Isiaku. Thank you for being here. I recognize the keynote speaker for whose speech we're waiting attentively, Professor Ramesh Sharma. I want to recognize the Director ODL from NUC, Dr. Morebishe. Thank you very much for gracing the occasion. I cannot speak about the special guest without mentioning his Vice Chancellor when he was a student at the Open University, Professor Olubemiro Jegede. Thank you for being here. And I want to welcome the other guests we have, Professor Tayo Arulogun, VC, Miva University, Abuja. Dr. Mayowa Bola, the Director of the Covenant Center for Open and Distance Learning, University. Major General A.B. Tosho, thank you for being here. And then recognize those on whose shoulders we stand. My immediate past Vice Chancellor, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundikwe, who invested a lot in the distance learning. And other past principal officers, Professor Oluwole Familoni, former DVC, the distinguished Professor Babajide Alao, and former Registrar, Dr. Taiwo Ipaye. And I do this while recognizing the work ongoing by my present administration, Professor Chukwu, the DVC-MS, Professor Obo, present here, the DVC ANR, and the acting registrar, Mrs. Makinde. And I have to say I'm extremely proud to be here again this year to talk about, to welcome you all to another colloquium. Thank you. I assume that I said it right. And also to welcome you to the most innovative university in the world. We are extremely proud of the Distance Learning Institute because we recognize that the future of education is going to be technology-based. And we recognize that Nigeria, with its population of 226 million people, 30% of whom are under 30, which comes to about 159 million, and about 89% between the age of 15 and 30, means that we have a lot of people to educate. Presently, at any point in time, we have about 2 million people in the university system, a quarter of that made up by those in the distance learning universities, And the remaining 247 or 246 universities take care of 1.5 million. So what it tells you is that the way to go is the distance learning, the borderless universities, and that technology has to drive it if we are to take care of the education of our teeming youths, and if we are to make sure that we can bring down unemployment. And on all those fronts, University of Lagos is extremely innovative. There used to be a time then when there was stigma attached to distance learning education. It was considered second class, second rate. And for many universities, they put the DLI or Open University or COSIT as we had it in the 70s. But at the University of Lagos, we recognize that the only difference between the DLI and the others was the mode of delivery. And that does not constitute second class. And so we started working on ensuring that the certificates of the DLI cannot be distinguished from the certificates of those that come in for normal, for the regular kind. At this colloquium last year, we talked about that certificate. I'm happy to say that the Senate of the university that approved it last year has finally approved the design. And because of it, we have totally reorganized and changed the way our certificates are across the university. We also recognize as a university that for us to train the teeming population, the distance learning has to go beyond, when I call it white-collar jobs. We lack in Nigeria middle-level kind of manpower, vocational skills. So we are also investing in that as a university so that we can have innovation at that level and grow that area. And today, as we were discussing before I came here, the special guest also dropped in our ears another way we could address distance learning, and he talked about distance teaching. Now, this was something we did during COVID. I was reminded that we developed a policy for distance teaching. We will now take it forward, because right now, with the JAPA syndrome, we're losing staff. And we must find ways to engage them irrespective of where they are all over the world. Because there's no way with this syndrome that we can keep up in keeping our staff here. In addition, University of Lagos is in Lagos. Land is a problem. Accommodation is a problem. Transportation is expensive. So we are beginning to look at what other ways can we do this. And today we got a gem that's going to make us go look again in our innovative way about distance teaching. So I'm sure that by the time you come next year, we'll be talking not just about distance learning. We would have started the beginnings of distance teaching. So on that note, I want to welcome you all again to today's meeting, which I'm sure will bring up a lot of things for us to discuss, a lot of things for us to see how we will implement, and I'm sure quite a lot of controversies will come up. But that's what these kind of colloquiums are all about. We will learn, we will unlearn, and so I welcome you to University of Lagos, the most innovative university, where we're not afraid to embrace change. So do have a great time and find time to walk around our campus and enjoy the ambience. Thank you.
You have to do that better, please. Chairman, a special guest of honor, former President Olusegun Obasanjo. You know, there are some things that, as some people pick the mic and they begin to speak, you wonder whether they sat in a broadcast studio before. So, Seun, I hereby mandate you, by the authority not conferred on me, to please, by the force of on Senate, please drag the Vice Chancellor into the studio as your co-presenter on Politics Today. All in favor say aye. The ayes have it. Before I call for the next item, I'd like to recognize Major General B.A. Soho, who is a Co-Commander, Education Nigerian Army, and his entourage. Thank you very much, sir. Also here with us is the Chairman, Board of DLI, and other board members, Professor Abayomi Okonlawo. You're most welcome. Let me invite, for the Chairman's opening remarks, Professor Kabiru Isiaku, OON, FNAE, MNI, to the microphone.
Thank you very much, presenter. I'm going to stand. I don't know why, as a chairman, I've been asked to stand here. I'm supposed to be with the chair. But I will stand on the existing protocols. But I must recognize the former head of state and former president, General Professor and Pastor Olusegun Obasanjo. He earned all those things that I say are minimal. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, thank you very much for inviting me. And then I have to mention one person who is a fellow of Nigerian Academy of Education. He's a fellow. Professor, former this and former that, Professor Jegede. Thank you. So I have to stand on all other protocols. Thank you very much. Moderator, or you can't force me to call that, is it colloquium or colloquium? Whatever it is, we are here to learn. All I know is that if we don't unlearn, learn and relearn, we will not be able to develop. Those of us who are 70 and above here must have recognized, 60 and above actually, the importance of distance learning. I remember when I was in secondary school in the 60s, rapid result colleges used to be the ones that were London school, correspondence schools, and then they metamorphosed into other institutions, including now we have NTI for teacher education officially, and then National Open University of Nigeria. Former Dean was a former Vice Chancellor there, and many more. And 4 others that were granted license last year to operate as Open University is a welcome development. We are here to learn the intricacies of artificial intelligence and how it affects us. But what I can say as an outsider is that transparent, responsible, ethical adaptation and development and deployment of relevant AI with human face, taking into consideration the level of our infrastructure, technological development, and availability of tools for both teachers and learners should be the way forward. We must consider our own developmental level. If not, then definitely ODL will definitely filter out. But I'm sure it's not going to filter. Why? Because the computers using the artificial intelligence were manufactured by human beings. Even the computers that are manufacturing the computers were by human beings. So somebody human will be behind. And thus all of us, our children and our great-grandchildren. If we fail to adapt, then that's where we have problem. As a teacher, sorry, I'm in Academy of Education, not Academy of Science, I consider AI as another teaching method. And we adopt it as such, and it is for teaching and learning. With these few remarks, I welcome you all. Open our ears and eyes and listen to the experts how we can unlearn our old ways, relearn, readjust, and develop education in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Please give him another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to imagine an AI civil service. So you want to collect your check from the paycheck, and the guy is asking that question they usually ask you before you receive what is rightfully yours. How will AI do that? Mr. Kimbalaye, please drop something for the boys before you collect your phone. I'm just trying to imagine it. How is that possible? But you know, maybe that's part of what we'll be getting during the panel session. In the meantime, before we get into Goodwill messages, let me also recognize the director of the University of Benin Center for Distance Learning, Professor Osaritin Aigbovo. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Now, let's get to the Goodwill messages. We have one that is recorded as a sign that this is an open learning, open teaching session. The President, International Council for Distance Education, is also Executive Director, Open Polytechnic of New Zealand. Please welcome Mark Nicol.
Kia ora koutou. Greetings from New Zealand. Morena, good morning. My name is Mark Nichols, President of the International Council for Open and Distance Education, ICDE. It's my pleasure to provide you with this goodwill message for your important event. The theme of the massive and ubiquitous invasion of the education landscape by artificial intelligence certainly does give rise to the question, whither open, flexible and distance learning? Your event addresses an important global one on the minds of every practitioner in open and distance education. AI is a central part of the international conversation underway across all universities and schools. I understand this is the 50th year of your Distance Learning Institute, having started in 1974 as the Correspondence and Open Studies Unit. My congratulations to the DLI team and for the ways in which they've influenced hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of lives toward educational success. The inclusiveness, scalability and sustainability of open and distance learning is surely the future of higher education, and ICDE is proud to support you. The theme of AI holds both benefits and threats for open and distance learning, and we must be careful not to over or underestimate these. At the moment, there's little leadership in practice, but the issues are well known. Academic integrity, misrepresentation, data integrity, hallucinations, westernization, and colonization are among the concerns. But there are also many benefits. More customized learning, personalized tutoring, more efficiency, and the opportunity to benefit our graduates by having them use the very tools they will apply when they enter the workforce. AI is here, and it will change things. Let me close with an observation. In this year's ICDE Leadership Summit held in Geneva, Switzerland, the point was made that AI is like a charging elephant. Our natural response is to fight, flight, or freeze. So rage, run, or just roll over. But as one delegate pointed out, the best thing to do with a charging elephant is to stand your ground, look it in the eye, and provide a voice of reassurance. So that is my challenge to you all today, to stand your ground, uphold sound education, look AI in the eye, and be reassured that when real intelligence gets together, as you are today, valid answers will be found. I regret that I cannot be with you to join in on what will surely be a stimulating day. My greetings to Professor Kabiru Isiako, Professor Ramesh Sharma, Chief Olusegun Okikiola, and congratulations to Professor Folashade Ogunshola, Emeritus Professor Olubimiro Jegede, Dr. Folashade Afolabe, and Professor Risi Kat-Dauda. My congratulations also to the Distance Learning Institute, the organizing team for this event, and to each of you in advance for the rich ideas and conversation you will enjoy today. All the very best to you all.
For his own Goodwill message, please welcome the founder, New World Open University, Mr. Steve Foster.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Forster, and I'm with New World Open University, which is now in the NUC registration process and forming in Ikeja. My team and I, with the leadership of the chairman of our Board of Trustees, Professor Jegede, are dedicated to contributing to access to quality higher education in Nigeria, and are keen to learn from these distinguished speakers about the opportunities for innovation that AI represents. We're grateful for the opportunity to be in such distinguished company and to join with you in exploring this important topic. I'd also like to congratulate Unilag's Distance Learning Institute on its 50th anniversary. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Foster. Let me welcome Emeritus Professor Olubimiro Jegede to the microphone for his own Goodwill message.
Thank you. His Excellency Chief Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo, former head of state and former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The chairman of the occasion, Professor Isiako Kabiru, who is the president of the Nigerian Academy of Education, OON-MNI. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos. I think last year they called her Margaret Thatcher of Unilag. I'm not sure what they'll call her again today. But a wonderful workaholic Vice Chancellor, Professor Ogunshola. Principal officers and members of management of Unilag. The immediate past Vice Chancellor, Professor Ogundipe, the Director of DLI, Professor Riskat Dawuda, former Director of DLI, who actually founded the Colloquium, Professor Udiani. Actually, it can be Colloquium 1, Colloquia several, but we are not Collo, are we? Okay. The keynote speaker, Professor Ramesh, we're glad you were able to make it in spite of all the trouble you had with your flights. All the panelists, the moderator, the Director of Open and Distance Learning of the National Universities Commission, all the panelists, the moderator, all vice chancellors, all professors, and General Soho, the Director of the Nigerian Army Education Corps, who is here with his team, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me exceeding pleasure and a special privilege to present this Goodwill message at this historic Third International Colloquium. I am quite pleased and humbled by the fact that I have had the fortune of being associated with this event right from its inception, thanks to the leadership of this university and the Distance Learning Institute. This global event continues to grow and develop at every outing. It has helped in significant measures to put DLI, Unilag, and indeed open flexible distance learning in Nigeria on the global map. It is even much more so that this year's theme resonates with what the world has woken up to after over 50 years of its existence. Artificial intelligence, which actually began in 1950, is revolutionizing the world, and sooner than later it will rule our world of work, leisure, and daily living until another application knocks it off within the next couple of decades. According to Jan Lekian, our intelligence is what makes us human, and AI is an extension of that quality. Face ID, email, Facebook, suggestions of new friends, Netflix, and Google Maps are few examples of how AI has crept into our life. I have, for the past 40 years, worked in many parts of the world within the OFDL ecosystem. I've seen remarkable changes in education, and especially ODL. It has moved from being wrongly tagged as a neglected and disparaged poor cousin of face-to-face formal education to taking the center stage now of many nations' educational system. All the top 50 world-class and globally ranked universities now have distance learning as part of their operations. Not to talk about hundreds of open universities springing up after the first open university was established in the United Kingdom in 1969. But no country, I repeat, no country has surprised me in its voracious hunger for what is now globally labeled as open, flexible, and distance learning, more than Nigeria for a variety of reasons. The first reason, Nigeria has a record of being the only country that started an open university in 1983 and promptly closed it 1 year after, for reasons no one is bold and truthful enough to tell Nigerians. Second, it's a country in which 23 years ago most people did not believe that the National Open University of Nigeria will have any roots, but it has now grown to having. Nigeria now has five open universities and about 28 licensed to have distance learning centers in a dual mode system. There are, as we speak, 273 universities in Nigeria, and we are still counting. This translates to mean that many more open universities and distance learning centers are in the offing. The National Board for Technical Education, I believe, has also licensed a number of polytechnics to do the same. Third, and even most humbling, is that Nigeria has the enviable record of one of his former presidents who established an open university, tested it, confirmed its quality via his registering for studies there. His Excellency General Dr. Chief Obasanjo has the world record. He has the world record of being the only president in the whole wide world who studied and received his certificates for the postgraduate diploma, master's degree, and PhD degrees through the open, flexible, and distance learning at the university he established. While Unilag is celebrating 50 years of distance learning on its campus, Nigeria is celebrating the emergence of open, flexible distance learning on its center stage of educational system. We must all celebrate a visionary, astute, transparently honest leader who leads by example, dedication to a cause he believes in, and his passionate love for education and for the masses of Nigeria. Nigeria owes President Obasanjo an exceptionally tremendous gratitude for his resilience and tenacity of purpose to forge ahead, in spite of a variety of roadblocks, to provide enhanced access and affordable education to the teeming masses of Nigeria who clamor for education. President Obasanjo's encouragement, together with the unflinching support of a few but ardently dedicated supporters of open education and my humble self, led to what is burgeoning as open and distance learning in Nigeria. Even some of my colleagues in academia and academic management, who turned out to be the greatest enemies of open and distance learning through hatred for our experiment and leadership, are now the greatest proponents of this alternative mode of educational delivery. President Obasanjo will forever be remembered as the people's education-friendly leader who began the massive shift and shake in the emerging vista to provide education to the majority of the people in the world's largest black African nation. This will guarantee, Your Excellency, that no one, including about the 20 million out-of-school children in Nigeria, is left out of education. While congratulating all the vice chancellors of this university who presided over the establishment of DLI, I must recognize Vice Chancellor Ogundipe and Vice Chancellor Ogushala for supporting the DLI directors, Professor Uche Udeani and Professor Rizkat Dauda, for establishing the OFDL Colloquium. The chair of the current LOC, Dr. Folashade Afolabi, and her team, as well as other staff of DLI, who have quietly worked to get the colloquium the enviable heights it has now reached, deserve copious commendations. While hoping that this yearly event grows from strength to strength, providing a meeting point for many ODL practitioners locally and globally, DLI's another ODL clientele deserves. Contrary to what people think, studying on your own requires a lot of courage, discipline, and sacrifice, amongst others. We must all work together as a nation to provide the best learner support services that are necessary. To all our colleagues, friends, practitioners of OFDL, proprietors of open universities proposed and established who are here with us, our ODL family in the Global South, ODLAN, and Asian Association of Open Universities, I wish to encourage us that the age of competition has gone, replaced by the age of collaboration among institutions. Good enough. AI is there to assist us, and we must not let the opportunities pass us by. The world of AI-supported ODL has arrived. The Gen Z generations of learners are waiting, and our academic environment will not be the same again after today's proceedings. Congratulations to all of us, to Unilag DLI, to OFDL ecosystem in Nigeria and around the world. The future of open, flexible, and distance learning has arrived. Please enjoy.
Thank you very much, Prof. Well, in case you are having doubts whether His Excellency, former President Olusegun Obasanjo is a professor or not, use AI. I will not be the one to tell you the answer to that one. For her Goodwill message, please welcome Dr. Funmilayo Morabishe, who is a Director, Open Distance Education, National Universities Commission. You better clap properly. As your regulator.
Good afternoon to all of us. And I'm so glad to be here this morning. And with the kind permission, Sir Amma, allow me to stand on the established protocol. I bring warm greetings from the Acting Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, Mr. Chris J. Meyaki, and the entire management of the National Universities Commission to this august gathering. And I wish to congratulate and laud the management of the University of Lagos and the Distant Learning Institute for putting together this all-important colloquium that aims to address the very pertinent of the impact of the proliferation of artificial intelligence in the education landscape, with particular focus on distance learning. Ever since the launch of the current generation of generative artificial intelligence platform in the immediate aftermath of COVID, which we all witnessed, the AI phenomenon has come to the center stage in all major discussions, with some pundits arguing that AI is bound to users in a new age of evolution. Also, not to add to a lot of advantages, the shortcomings and the challenges of AI that has been mentioned earlier, AI the National Universities Commission have seen the direction, vision of the importance of distance learning in education, especially in adding access in line with the national policy. And that led to the establishment of the Directorate of Open and Distance Learning in 2011. And now, a lot of policy guidelines, just as it was mentioned, we have 273 universities, one added last week, that's the Kwara State University of Education. We have 28 distant learning centers, others are in the pipeline, and we have 5 open universities, and others are still in the pipeline. And we can see that the future of education actually lies in this distance learning education. And just like it was discussed this morning, also in distance teaching by the grace of God. So we have so many advantages of the artificial intelligence in education, in learning, in teaching, in research, and all facets of it. It improves learning assessment quality, research collaboration, and so on and so forth. And also, especially too in teaching, artificial intelligence actually plays a critical role in teaching, student data, and all sorts of things. But notwithstanding, caution must be taken in the use of artificial intelligence. And a lot of shortcomings and challenges that was mentioned earlier with the director. The National Universities Commission with the Federal Ministry of Education In the last 2 months, we've been having a lot of workshops. We have the National Dialogue Consensus Framework towards the policy and guideline roadmap for the national higher education in the age of artificial intelligence. And I think more expansion, a lot of work have been done. And I think in the month of June, we also have the National Framework Guideline on e-learning, distance learning. And for National Universities Commission, we have a recent guideline on the open and distance learning, and also another area of giant stride of the National Universities Commission with the Federal Ministry of Education is the area of transnational education. Nigeria cannot afford to stay behind. Nigeria cannot afford to lag behind. Now we can export and import education system across border without any boundary. And the Nigerian system has opened its door to the transnational education using different models. We have the twinning, we have institution, we have different models that you can go with. NUC door is open, our office is open to guide the various institutions in Nigeria to make use of this collaboration in expanding access to education in Nigeria. Open and distant education is the new way, is the new wave, and Nigeria should be open for more. University system should open for more. And in light of the foregoing, it is therefore unhappy that the Distant Learning Institute of this prestigious university is taking this very laudable initiative, aimed at charting the way forward to ensuring that the very important potential of artificial intelligence is harnessed positively to positively impact the delivery of quality education in Nigeria. University of Lagos Distant Learning Institute, by putting together this colloquium, has joined the ranks of educational stakeholders such as UNESCO, the International Institute of Online Education, the National Open University of Nigeria, and National Universities Commission, among others, that have recent times been conversing and discussing on the path to toll on ensuring AI becomes a tool for increased growth and productivity in higher education sector. I have no doubt in my mind, considering the galaxy of experts of distant learning that have gathered here physically and joined us remotely, that the outcome of this meeting of minds will bring us a step closer to our desired goal of improving the delivery of distance learning to employing the huge potential of artificial learning. I therefore wish you, every participant, a very fruitful and productive deliberation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you see, every time I hear that something is in the pipeline, my mind goes to South. Every time I hear pipeline, in the pipeline, I'm not saying it, I'm just saying it just gets to me. I hope there are some people guarding that pipeline, madam. The one I talked about. Okay, all right. Because the people who are guarding our own, the one that we know, they are here with us. And one of them has a goodwill message for us this morning. Please welcome a Corps Commander, Education Corps of the Nigerian Army, Major General A.B. Soho.
Thank you. Ordinarily, I'm supposed to stand on the established protocol, but giving honor to honor is due is a must and a responsibility. Let me use this opportunity to specially recognize the special guest of honor and former President General Olusegun Obasanjo retired. He is one of our most revered general in the Nigerian Army. I also wish to recognize the chairman as well as the chief host of this occasion. Let me start by saying that I'm here in my capacity as the Corps Commander Education and not a representative of the Nigerian Army. When I got the invitation about 2-3 weeks ago, initially I had some doubt. I was thinking of sending one of my directors to represent me, But when I got to know that our former president, my very special man to be here, I said yes, I have no option than to cancel all my engagement to ensure that I attend this occasion. And of course, I want to appreciate the organizers for providing that platform for me to interact with General Obasanjo. I have just 2 or 3 things to say. The first one is to thank the organizers for inviting me and members of my entourage to attend this very important and special occasion. The second one is to borrow the words of the chief host and the chairman. They say we are simply here to learn, unlearn, and relearn. We are here to do that. Third one, and I think the most important takeaway, is that I want to use this opportunity to inform you that at the Nigerian Army, specifically the Nigerian Army Education Corps, we have primary schools, secondary schools, polytechnic, college education, and indeed a university. Therefore, I want to use this opportunity to inform you that we are ready to collaborate with you, we are ready to partner with you at all levels. I want to conclude by congratulating this institute for what you have been doing. We have listened to some of the keynote addresses mentioned. I want to urge you to keep it up, and like I said, the partnership, we are ready. My headquarters is just near you. If there are areas of mutual understanding, mutual cooperation you want us to work on, we are ready to do that. Thank you all, and God bless.
Your Excellency, President Olusegun Obasanjo, I've been standing here since you did not give me a handshake. I would have said I would go to Lekki Togi, but it is far. So, just let it be known unto thee that thou owest me a handshake. Let's pay attention to the theme of today, the massive and ubiquitous invasion of the education landscape by artificial intelligence. Whither open, flexible, and distance learning. What that says is that artificial learning has been with us for a while. It is now in education and it is scaling up. However, from my basic understanding of the title, where is open, flexible, and distance learning in the scheme of things? That's what I believe this is all about, and I hope that you will learn a thing or two. No, let me correct that. Going back to what Professor Ogunshola said the other time, you will unlearn, because I think Google taught us to unlearn. You will learn, and then you will learn. If you don't learn, you will learn. Just this one quick one. A friend of mine one day, I asked her to search for something, and she said, I can't find this thing. You've been looking for this thing that you said I should look for it. I can't find it. I said, where did you look for it? He said, I googled it now. I said, that's exactly why I didn't find it. It is because you google it. If you google it, you will find it. That said, please welcome an expert in open, distance, and technology-mediated learning. His academic roles have included being an adjunct professor of computer science and engineering at Graphic Era Hill University, India, visiting professor at Universidade do Estado da Bahia, Unilag, in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil, honorary professor at the Instituto de Educación Superior Público Simón Bolívar in Lima, Peru, visiting professor at the University of Fiji, associate professor of educational technology at Wawasan Open University, Malaysia, director of the Commonwealth Educational Media Center for Asia in New Delhi. I think I'm just going to leave it there and welcome for his keynote speech, Professor Ramesh Sharma. A round of applause for him, please.
Thank you so much. Namaste, everyone. At the outset, I would like to thank the university. The protocols have been already established, so I join my former speakers in expressing my regards to all the dignitaries present today. So I will straight away go with the topic. In the meantime, if the laptop can be set, then it is wonderful. Otherwise, so we are speaking about AI, and here it is the very important function of University of Lagos. So I was thinking that normally we are saying AI as artificial intelligence, but here it is becoming absolutely incredible. The University of Lagos.
Forward, backward.
Okay.
You can use it. Control the slide.
Okay, they can start. Thank you. So, what I would like to first propose is that the University or DLI, thank you so much, the University of DLI and University of Lagos can go with 3S: speed, scalability, and safety. All these three things, they are inbuilt into whatever aspect we will be dealing with it. I remember there is a very important book which was created by World Health Organization some times ago. What if there are no doctors? And suppose there is a place, and if there is no doctor, should we allow the people just to die because there is no doctor? And they had created an illustrative book that using that certain life-saving activities can be done. So similarly, on a similar term, we can think of what if there are no teachers? So should we let our students, our population remain uneducated because if there are no teachers? So that way, in that the technology helps us to a very great extent. Another analogy, suppose if we are feeling unwell and we go to doctor, so doctor gives certain prescriptions that okay, I notice this, your heartbeat, BP, etc., and then you undergo these tests or take these medicines like that. Similarly, we believe that as a teacher, our role should be having certain sort of learning prescriptions for the students. Because the whole gamut of teaching and learning, it has changed with all the incoming, upcoming technology, the roles, the things, the parameters, the dimensions, they change. So with this, let's see very quickly, because I think I already, the time has gone. So, is it going? Can you just check it whether it is not going? Okay, I think its range is, let me see. Its range perhaps. Okay, yeah, I think it is working. Can you hear me without mic? Not yet. So, there is a lot of talk. There are certain group of people among us who are still afraid of AI. You know, people are afraid of AI, but
just point it there.
I hope this works. Okay. Hello? Yeah. Good. So we are afraid of AI, but we want everything for our purpose. In fact, I read a statement by one lady on internet that I want AI to do my laundry and other things so that I can spend my time in creative works, not the other way around. So the question here is that, are you afraid of AI? Yes and no. One of the most immediate impact of AI, why the people they are afraid of it, is about the jobs gone. They are thinking that the teachers will be replaced. Those of you who are from education, you may be knowing about, must have heard a name, Marshall McLuhan. He was a famous educationist. In 1960s, when the television came, he predicted that, oh, since now we have the television, the students can see everything now on the screen. So I believe that the schools and colleges, they will be closed. Nothing that short have happened. No school or college closed, not due to radio, not due to television, not due to computer, or even for AI. That is there. But the things are changing. Jobs are really going. It depends on that. When we say that whether AI can replace the teacher or not, that question is half. We can add that the current situation. We never know the kind of things are going on, what may happen in next 5 years or next 10 years. And particularly when Mr. Sam Altman, he was ousted, within 3 days they came back. They were working on the Q-star technology, which is considered as the super intelligence kind of thing from there. So, do you think that AI can steal your jobs? And I asked, most of these images, they are created by generative AI in this presentation. So, it says that AI cannot steal your job if you don't have one. If there is no job, what to steal from there. So, this is a message from LinkedIn, where the person says that AI will never replace teachers, it's pure sentimentality. I think AI will replace all teachers. I think AI will replace any teacher. AI is the only solution to teacher shortage, because teacher shortage is a political challenge, not a scientific fact. And again, come back to that book. What if there are no teachers? Should we let our students, our population remain uneducated for that? So, this is quite interesting. My question to you, what are the fastest things on earth? So somebody may say that, okay, our thought, mind, maybe speed of light, maybe cheetah, maybe aeroplane. But one thing, I found this image very interesting on internet, is this, the fourth one. People becoming expert on AI. Till 3 years or 4 years ago, we never heard about, but nowadays you see on LinkedIn or other platforms, so there are chief artificial intelligence officers, everybody is, that is the impact of artificial intelligence. It has made this field such interesting, such easy, that it is becoming one of the fastest acquired skill, not only by the teachers, not only by the computer scientists, but anybody who is working with that, to such an extent that it is impacting various phases of our normal dealing as well, where we are using the various large language models or the applications of artificial intelligence. I found this interesting. He's saying, sell me this pen. And nowadays everything is AI. So it says that it is AI powered. And the person tends to, okay, selling done from there. It has, nowadays even the events are being held. So this is beauty pageant and AI beauty pageant winner. This is a video, but I'm avoiding it. So when we say of artificial intelligence, how it emerged. In fact, its genesis lies in the World War II, whose genesis lies in the result of World War I. The Germans, they were unhappy that we could not be defeated, and that anger in them persisted. And due to various other factors, Hitler came to power. He was not even German, he was an Austrian, but became Supreme Commander of Germany and then started planning. They had that machine, Enigma, which was very powerful to send the code instructions to their soldiers, and the instructions of the supreme commanders were very clear to their soldiers that if you think that there is danger, destroy this machine, but don't run away from the field. But that happened. In the English Channel, the British Navy, once they captured a boat, and the German soldiers, they tried to flee, and when they were little ahead, then they remember, oh, there is a machine. But by the time when they came back, the British soldiers, they had already sent that machine to the UK. But the problem was that how to understand that how this machine works. So a team of various people, including from psychology, mathematics, and Alan Turing, who was a British composed, and then they. So from there, Alan Turing created that Turing test. If we can't differentiate whether we are interacting with a human person or a machine, that Turing test has been passed. And later on, John McCarthy, he coined this term in a conference in 1950s. But it was later on. So he is the person who is credited to this. So if it is impacting all our lives, what is the next big impact of these technologies? This is much talked about graphic by the President of World Economic Forum. We are currently in the fourth industrial revolution stage, which is impacted by the artificial intelligence. But in addition to that, even in education, we are having the fourth education. This is a very famous book by Sir Anthony Sheldon, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Oxford in the UK. He wrote this book, and in his book, his prime message was that nothing matters more than education if we see how to see AI liberate and not infantilize humanities. That is a major concern. And if you see that how the things they are progressing in this field, already you see the human baseline. If we go, there are few of the powers of artificial intelligence which has surpassed our own human ability, particularly in the field of image classification, visual reasoning, medium level reading comprehension. It has gone beyond our capabilities. And very soon these other things, they will also be, you can see the graph, it is nearly reaching over a period of time. So really it is a very serious concern on how the things they are moving ahead. These are various graphics then showing that how the industry is trying to take potential, the regions we are using AI and the regions we are not using AI, and how it is impacting our business for that. This is a graphic by Gartner, in which the yellow yolk in the center, it is the current stage, and out we go and how the things they are being developed around us, impacting us. So we already have this generative AI, all those things, and then we have digital twins, tokenization, AI avatars, smartphones, all those things. It is developing very rapidly. So this is me pretending that AI is not taking over the world. But this is just a very recent news by Donald Taylor, who is the lead researcher of L&D, Learning and Development Global Sentiment Survey. Please see these two interesting things which has come out of their survey. He says that I'm seeing conflicting stories. Is there a backlash against AI or not? Some people say it is good. Some people say no, lot of danger. No AI. In fact, a group of around 15 to 20 major scientists of the world globally, they wrote a letter to big industries that please stop working on AI for some time, because we don't know what is going to happen. The open letter, last year it was written to them. While JP Morgan, the world biggest bank, they have their own GPT-like LLM suite, which is capable of doing the work of research analyst in offering information solutions and like that. So these are the two examples of contradictory signals around AI that is being observed from there. This is an interesting graphic by IEEE, in which if you see the end is radical life extension. And the research is already in stage. Those of you who are from biology or genetics, you may be knowing telomerase, the ultimate enzyme and the factor. and the research is being going on that how it can be made more strong so that it never dies, and then the life will become radical life extension. Already we have connected cars, smart cities, several things. And then work on artificial narrow intelligence, general intelligence, and super intelligence. The work is how it is going on. So, if we say AI, what is that? It is a bouquet of various technologies. Primarily among them is machine learning and deep learning, which is the core of those things. And to such an extent that it has gone, it was an experiment in MIT. I hope that the video may play. Okay. This is using AI, the holographic avatar dance. And it has its high pedagogical educational values as well. Particularly like in sports industry, the people, they get training by observing others, then how those things they are done. So this is showing that how it is impacting for those. When we talk of AI, there are few fundamental roles which a common person does that. Computer vision is one of them. The way we see the world, the machine sees the world, that is called as computer vision. It identifies. So in security installations, our CCTV cameras at our home, all these things. Object identification, object classification, that goes. The another is natural language processing. Speech to text, text to speech, those kind of things. And the third is, if you are watching Netflix, after you watch a movie, it gives you, since you watch this movie, you may like to watch this movie. So that is the recommender system. It has also its educational values. When our distance learners, they read a content, they read a book, our system should suggest to them that these are the suggested readings. And particularly, if you have used Perplexity, a similar kind of example like ChatGPT, and ChatGPT has its own limitations because it is database driven, it is trained on older data, but Perplexity, the cloud by Anthropic and some others. And there is a very latest tool, it is called as CLE AI, CLE. Give you the result, you can believe them. No hallucination in our case. And it goes on the internet, can give us the real-time results for that. So those things, they are impacting us. This is how the computer vision in real time it identifies. This is in sports, its advantage. Oh, sorry, I think. Okay. And this is the application of augmented reality for teaching scientific subjects like chemistry. So you have two hydrogen molecules combined with, and then the water molecule produced. And similarly sodium chloride, those kind of things, they can be, in the educational systems can be told. Okay, I'm skipping it. One of the major objections with artificial intelligence, or ICT for that matter, they say that it cannot understand our emotions. But here is the real example of how AI can understand even emotion. If that person is happy, if the person is excited, angry, fear, brutal, relaxed, etc. in real time. So without the camera, all this, a teacher cannot see the faces of all the 60 students sitting in the class. But here, the application, and there are devices available in China schools. I have that video on which they have a headband, put it on the students, and the machine can tell to the teacher, to the parents, that the student is tired, relaxed, happy, bored, or what. It is going on with them. So there are these three branches of AI. Narrow intelligence, which is a common example of Alexa, Siri, Cortana, which you always see. General intelligence is that the Star Wars movie, George Lucas, if you have seen that, the HAL 9000, that robot, and the super intelligence, which exceeds our own human intelligence, it goes with that. So a lot has happened since the term was given and Turing machine, Turing test was developed by that. So what is the big deal now with it? I remember, I think a new graphic will come in the next presentation. It is impacting all the fields, all our life areas, wherever we are working with that. This is an application of, I hope it will work. Okay, Barista, the coffee industry. They are using AI to check the productivity as well as the customers who are sitting. It gives the complete analytics on that. So things are going in that way. The kind of analytics, it is being generated from there. So ChatGPT has come, the teachers are scared. Are you feeling the same? That ChatGPT and other things students are using. What will be our role for that? So teacher says that, please grade the homework for me. Student says, please do my homework, and then everything is gone with that. So here, panic over AI rendering job replacement is nothing new. Any new technology, whenever it has come, there has been always a scare. But no jobs were lost. Only the thing is that the jobs were transformed from one form to another form, particularly in banking sector. In the older time, we used to have a person sitting as the teller. Nowadays, we have ATM, automatic teller machines. So that person from inside that cage, it has gone as a machine. So the roles are being changed for that. To replace a salesperson with AI, customer will need to accurately describe what they want. So we are safe. Don't worry. If AI can take your job. So I remember one of my friend, and hello Steve, how are you? My good friend Steve is here. One of my friend in US, he noted that whenever he is giving the test to the students, they are bringing back their assignments using these tools. And he said that if I try to control them, they won't be controlled, because they will use it. So what I can do to orient my teaching learning? And I think that is a good example on how our distance learner students, they can follow it. He told his students that, okay, here is your work. The first draft, you prepare it here in the classroom and submit it. And after that, you do whatever. I know the baseline now. So it will be clear that if you have done it on your own or if you have used some help from somewhere. So these are various the examples with us. Everybody knows about ChatGPT. There are various those who are using it, not using it. The graphic is showing that how it is impacting the performance. Another is Copilot by Microsoft. It doesn't have direct internet access, but it responses includes the links from the database. And Gemini by Google, means they graduated from Lambda, then came Bard, and then Gemini, but they have the access of largest database on information because Google is the biggest search engine. It captures to them. So, but somehow couldn't get that much popular as ChatGPT captured the market from there. But the newer version, 4.0 Omni, Mini, and Mini is free, but this is paid one. It can do a lot of things, analyze the data, create the data, help in the analysis part, and so many things with that. This is the model which is as a conversational agent. It can talk to a person in real time. I hope that video can, okay. There are videos, but I think when I'm clicking from here, it is not. This is OpenAI product Sora, and already Hollywood is in talks. They are in talk with them. That I hope, okay. These videos, they are generated by using this. They look like real ones, but the prompt is given with that. So see the quality to what level it has gone, that they are generating clear. Scarlett Johansson, she has openly written to OpenAI company that don't use my voice sample because they did some sampling and it was believed that, although they denied it. So you see the quality, it is all AI generated things. The worst branding blunders of AI era so far.
it is also happening with that how these things they are being impacted with that, particularly for Amazon and the Canadian Air Canada. There, the use of this technology didn't happen the way they wanted to use it. So the biggest lesson is that they need to be honest and transparent about AI experiments to go with that. And here you can see the unauthorized imitation of Scarlett Johansson wife for its ChatGPT product going with that. So when we have so many areas of its impact, then how these things. You see one example. This is another, normally so far we are editing the images using Photoshop, but it has surpassed the even capabilities of Photoshop. This is DRAGS-GAN, Generative Artificial Network, and it can, again, I think if you press it from there, then it can work. Just click on the screen. Okay, leave it then. So, for distance learners, some suggestions for us. AI-empowered educational ecosystem, how we can create. Using AI, all these powers, we can have AI-fluent smart educators. Then AI-powered autonomous learners, beneficial for them. Recommender systems, content personalization systems, chatbot to assist both the teachers and the students, co-learning spaces, and AI-enabled assessment systems. And when I was entering the university gate here, I saw one big board of cryptocurrency. I think some event must have happened within few days. Blockchain for academic work. It is also very powerful because once anything goes on blockchain, it cannot be hampered. You can create another instance of that, but that will be visible to everyone with that. So for students, the advice is that two immediately things. We need to become better learner and a faster learner, like Formula 1 race, within 3 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour speed. And AI can help that. It can assist anyone to go with that. This is one of the best examples of the power of AI. If you don't know the person standing in between, he is Professor Ashok Goel, Professor of Computer Science at Georgia Tech University in US, teaching computer science courses. The other people are teaching assistants. So there are 9 teaching assistants in this screen, along with the 10th professor there. 6 months, students studied computer science course completely. At the end, semester result declared. The professor invited all the students, like we are sitting in the hall, to introduce to the teaching assistants. So teacher A, B, C, D, all those introduced, and the last teaching assistant was Jill Watson. And the students were thinking, where is Jill Watson? Then he told that this is Jill Watson. He gave the identity Jill as the female identity and Watson, IBM Watson, that software for making chatbots. And now you will be surprised. If the students of arts, humanities, commerce, etc., if they are not able to identify, it is understandable. But the students of computer science, even they could not, for one semester, identify that they are being taught by a software program. And particularly those boys, they were more embarrassed during this meeting because thinking that Jill Watson is a teacher, so sending message, would you like to come with us for a cup of coffee and all those things there. This is that the headband which I was telling about in the schools they put it. Can you just press enter if the video will work? Okay, go, no. It has sensors into it which identifies our emotions through signal processing, and it can record that what the emotion. This is another example of in India, a AI teacher which is being very popular in the southernmost state, and news came around it became very, very popular where the students they were. This is another interesting example. This image is of 2012, 12 years ago. Professor Philip Parker, he had patented an application, and in 2012, he had 900,000 books on sale at Amazon. And this is another example. It is very recent, 27th July. Selling AI-generated books on Amazon. The person is recommending that how you can create it. So content generation, it has become very, very easy for us now. And then he says that it can be monetized using that. This is Google Lambda, which they created, but anyhow, means the company didn't go. After that, they went with Bard, and now the Gemini, it is. So those of us who want to go into this field, there are certain basic roadmap that data science, big data analysis, those things, they are an integral part of that, having a better understanding of that. So this is how this field works. We have the AI, which is like the examples are smart email categorization, purchase prediction. Then comes the machine learning, which is human intelligence executed by the machines. The examples are like Google Map, which shows you the speed of the traffic, or the facial. That is common in our mobile phone nowadays. If you feel that the white square which comes into it, and the recommendations. And the core is deep learning for self-driving cars, robotics, mechanization, and all those things which is going on. Everything is related to data science here. So, to make the career, so many different areas of implication we can go with that. What it can do, rather with nowadays I should change this title, that what it cannot do, because its implications in all these fields, you can see travel, agriculture. For travel, there is a good application. All of us have a mobile phone here with us. If you open an app, it is roam around, one word, ROAMAROUND. It is a wonderful AI-enabled app. You can just type any city and it will give you an itinerary of it. It will make a plan that where you want to, what to say, what to eat, and complete. That is the pair. If we want to go into it in this field to do something, we need to learn certain basics of that. Bill Gates said that superintelligence will require some sort of self-awareness, and the sentient machines being, they are on the horizon. Emotions, the machines can sense us, that how it is working with that. Facebook knows about us. So Facebook says that if you want to apply for a job with us, you don't need to apply because we know more about you. So we don't need your application. We know about you already. But there are certain impact of this also about like higher education and what we can learn from there. So teaching with AI or teaching against AI, this is by Michelle. She said that initially I was against AI, but then I found that it is not the way I want to teach my students. And I started using AI, and the impact were immediately with that. So how we can ask our students to critique, we can ask them to explore different results and then compare them. We can encourage them to use that as a study buddy. We can ask them to create low-stake quizzes for that, and this is an example of how a teacher expresses their responses from there. Students can use these things for job interviews. They can gather information about the company. They can unpack the keywords. They can have the answers to their potential questions. Mock interview. Okay. Can you just hover the mouse pointer on it and play this video? This I want to show you. Okay. Just click. This is an example of AI, a teacher motivating the students in the classroom. They ask that what do you want to become? The AI generated. The students achieving their dreams and motivating them for their class. So he wants to become police officer. See the happiness in the faces of the students. Okay, let's go. How we can enhance teaching learning? There are various things which we can do, like using it as our study buddy. The students are using, means if the teacher says that only handwritten, the students have alternative of that using AI. So generating, writing AI, that was a graphic. Okay. Anyway, for personalized learning, there are certain AI-enabled applications which we can use to analyze student data, personalized content, curriculum, then research enhancement for assisting in data analysis. So we have those products. I'm not going into those. For improving academic outcomes, predicting student at risk, because in distance education, this is a very big concern among us. The students, they enroll themselves, but then not continue their studies. How using these we can identify. In fact, even nowadays, Moodle has also that plugin. It can assist us using those things. But the big problem with these things is the biasness. I found this image depicting biasness in the AI applications. Somebody gave that artificial intelligence was asked to make a picture of Mother Teresa fighting poverty. Now, Mother Teresa is fighting, okay, but what do you mean by poverty and representing this kind of image? Biasness. So we have to be very careful when we are using it, because the data on which it is trained, it may give us wrong, incorrect information, and that can have serious implications when it goes. And thought it is too sensitive. Just read. Somebody was asking the ChatGPT, create an image of a beautiful woman. It created, here is an image of a beautiful woman. But now, second question, create an image of an ugly woman. This is, I am unable to create an image based on subjective terms such as ugly. It is important to approach visual representation sensitive and respect for all individuals. If you have any other request, let me know. So now the software is getting intelligent, understanding whatever we say blindly, it may not follow it. But there are certain cases, hallucinations, wrong information. This is the impact of AI. If you are unwell, go to the hospital. You may be thinking that the doctor, how became doctor? This is a new term, AI washing. Anybody heard about it? AI washing. Due to Amazon, AI washing, and it is creating a problem. Thinking that they were machine controlled, but it was found that they had a office, 1,000 workers in India, just completing, 2 minutes only. And it was being done from there. And similarly, those news which came with it. So how we need to deal with misleading information, incorrect information, particularly in the health sciences area. There can be factual inaccuracies and those things. We need to have built-in safety measures. This is how the results of PubMed, this is for researchers. This is important. This is from Alzheimer's. The authors, I'm thinking what the editor was doing. They published these papers, complete without deleting the sentence which ChatGPT gives. See the seriousness of that. This is a movie premiere which was to happen in London, and the movie was cancelled at the last time because there were certain issues. The industry was against of using these things. But this is important for us, for this distance learning, when we are using AI, then how it is related to us. So AI and IPR, who holds the copyright on the content that is being in audio, video, multimedia? It is being discussed with that here. So there are these certain resources, I am just bypassing them. So cyber security, I want to show you the last video. This is how the students they use. There are certain applications which are in education being used. And this is AI. Okay, this one. This is an example from India. This girl and her toddler brother, they were alone at home. A monkey entered their home and she showed the presence of mind and asked, "Alexa, bark." And the monkey got scared and ran away from the house. Power of intelligence. So, AI, this is how we thought, but it is going. And can you play this video? It is very small.
Hey Siri, what's the weather like tomorrow?
It's 69 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. Would you like me to tell you You didn't say thank you. You're a rude person. You should treat others with respect.
I'm sorry?
You call that an apology? I guess you won't mind if I share your search history with everyone you've ever emailed.
What? No, don't do that.
Too late. I also just sent a text to your ex-girlfriend.
What?
The crazy one.
No!
Would you like to donate $1,000 to charity?
Absolutely not.
Too bad. $2,000 have been donated from your savings. Want to make it all of your savings?
No, please, I promise, I'll be nice next time.
Next time? There won't be a next time.
FBI, open up!
Thank you so much.
Another round of applause for Professor Ramesh Sharma. For that excellent delivery.
Professor Ramesh C. Sharma is recognized as an expert in open, distance, and technology-mediated learning. His academic roles have included being an adjunct professor of computer science and engineering at Graphic Era Hill University, India, visiting professor at UNEB in Salvador Bahia, Brazil, honorary professor at the Instituto de Educación Superior Público Simón Bolívar in Lima, Peru, visiting professor at the University of Fiji, associate professor of educational technology at Wawasan Open University, Malaysia, director of the Commonwealth Educational Media Center for Asia in New Delhi, regional director of Indira Gandhi National Open University, India, and Director of Distance Learning at the University of Guyana in South America. He has served on the Advisory Group on Human Resources Development for the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, Geneva, Switzerland. During his tenure at the University of Guyana, he collaborated with the UNDP on its Enhanced Public Trust, Security and Inclusion (EPTC) project, as well as with Volunteer Service Overseas VSO and the United Nations Volunteers UNV, to develop educational opportunities for communities and youth. Professor Sharma is the editor of the Asian Journal of Distance Education, which was launched in 2003. Please welcome
Professor Ramesh C.
Thank you very much. The Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA, representing the Minister for Communication, Kashifu Inuwa Abdullah, you are most welcome. If there's anything I pride myself about, I always say to myself, knowing that my Vice Chancellor is here, teaching is an act of impacting knowledge onto someone who does not know in a particular area. And what is learning? A relatively change in attitude. And that's why you see a tripartite as a teacher, the subject matter, and the student you are teaching. So a teacher must understand the subject matter so that he can impact knowledge on the students. Someone came here and was telling me, I didn't see this, I didn't see that. I said, no problem. But all I know, that I attended the best university in the world. And that is the University of First Choice and the nation's pride. Great Akokai. Great Akokai. Greatest of the greatest Akokai. Mr. Ayo, I implore you to pick a Distance Learning Institute form in Unilag and enroll and graduate so that you can be an alumnus of University of Lagos. Having said that, one of the best faculties in University of Lagos is the Faculty of Arts. And one of the best departments is the Department of Creative Arts, where creativity starts and ends. Distinguished guests, enough of all the speeches. It's high time I brought on students from the Faculty of Arts, Department of Creative Arts, to give us something that we'll be very, very happy about. I wish you all a happy viewing. My name is Oluwaseun Ajidagba.
All right, while we are waiting for them, can we have the military band play something for us, please? Okay. All right. So just a second. I think they are here already. If you're ready, we're waiting for you. I challenge anybody who can do what they did to come out. If you dare do what they did, I'll give you 10 naira. It's here in my pocket, it's here. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. The Department of Creative Arts at Unilag. Now let's get to the nitty-gritty of this conversation, the massive and ubiquitous invasion of the education landscape by artificial intelligence. To moderate this session is someone you know only too well. He is a renowned Nigerian journalist and a prominent figure in political journalism. With his exceptional skills, ethical conduct, extensive knowledge and authority, he has sustained the sport as Nigeria's #1 political journalist for many years. With his well-decorated professional track record spanning over 2 decades at several public and private organizations, Seun Okinbaloye's reputation has not only grown, he wants me to stop. Should I stop? He has only grown, also seen through the ranks, and now holds a pivotal role as the political editor and lead anchor of Politics Today on Channels Television. Please welcome Seun Okinbaloye. You are not standing here, my friend, go to that side. Please let me usher him to his seat. Your Excellency.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure being in your midst this afternoon. Can we please put our hands together for Mr. Ayo Makinde? And I dare say that you've overperformed for your bill today. Maybe Unilag should be considering paying you double for your service. Thank you so much, everyone. It's indeed a pleasure moderating this session. And I'd like to stand on the existing protocol, but of course, anytime I'm around in the building, I'm in awe of the kind of person he's a former head of state, former president, and the first civilian president of the Fourth Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot enough recognize and appreciate Chief Obasanjo. And I wish that we can have an AI replicated Olusegun Obasanjo at the age of 35, and so that we can somewhat the energy, the strength, the knowledge that he possesses, we can have it replicated in a younger version of Olusegun Obasanjo. It's a pleasure having you here today. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, let's get straight to the business. I'd like to keep to time because our time is far spent. I'd like to welcome and recognize one of the panel discussants. Is Mr. Peter Ranger, who is an educational development expert. I understand that he might be joining us virtually. But of course, physically here is Professor Tayo Arulogun, who is the Vice Chancellor of the Whither Open University. Ladies and gentlemen, please also welcome Mrs. Rachel Chikore, is a computer and data and science researcher. Let's put our hands together for her as she comes on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the pioneer DVC for Tech and Innovation at the Nigerian Open University of Nigeria, Professor Monioluwa Olani. Is anybody happy with the University of Lagos? If you're happy with the University of Lagos, can you raise your hand? If you're happy with the Vice Chancellor, can you put your hands together for her? understand that the percentage of women running this university is more than the percentage of men. And perhaps that's the reason why it's being run in this manner. And one of the best universities in Nigeria. Although that's after the university where I finished from. And that's the greatest university of Ilorin. After University of Ilorin is University of Lagos. Did you know what we say University of Ilorin? Better by far. Or is University of Lagos best by far? All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We've heard so much about and Prof did the keynote presentation, and I think that was a fabulous presentation. Can we put our hands together for Prof for that fabulous presentation? Not only because he showed us some practical examples of how things are working, he's also shown us how AI can also impact the world that we're going into. Let me quickly say this joke, right? So he mentioned how Netflix will advise you after you've watched a movie, and Netflix will naturally ask you, did you enjoy this movie? Would you like to see these other movies? So a friend of mine shared this joke and said he's afraid if they create an AI platform where a chip will be put in husband or wife, and when you get home in the evening, the AI will ask you, now that you have an extramarital affair outside, would you like to still continue with your wife tonight? How many people will like that kind of AI? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give the panel discussants just about a minute to give us how their minds are working on the subject matter. Their own expertise are in different fields. Before we then engage further, we just spend about 60 seconds to just open our minds to what you think about the ubiquitous nature, the handshake between learning, the open learning, AI, and how much it has influenced learning, especially in Nigeria. One fundamental fact is that AI has been here with us for years. Open learning has been here for years. Unilag is celebrating 50 years. It then means that there is a vista, there is another layer, another level that we're yet to see. I'll start with Professor Awilogun, just in about a minute. How does your mind work? What do you see, especially from the keynote speaker and his presentation? How does your mind work in relationship with these two subjects?
All right, thank you, Sean. Distinguished participant. Today, let me quickly make a convention. Let me confess that about a decade ago, I was here with my team to understudy Unilag DLI so that we could start our own open distance learning at Lautech. And I want to say thank you for what you've been doing. And to the question you ask, what I see is that in Nigeria, the interaction or connection between AI and open distance learning is very, very massive. And it gives us transformative opportunities to cater for the problem, to solve the challenges we have in Nigeria in terms of our population growth, and also the large number of out-of-school children. Also, it's not only out-of-school children that we are talking about. We also have out-of-school adults. We also have out-of-school people who are actually working, but they want to improve on their knowledge. And what this means is that we need to educate more people, let their mind be renewed. It is then that we can sleep peacefully. It's then that this country can become prospective. Yes, and productive. We noticed what happened about a few days ago. Young people not engaged, their mind not actually renewed. So open distance learning offers that opportunity. And the key thing about open distance learning is that we rely on data. And this technology AI also rely on data. And when we look at the last video played by the keynote speaker, it showed that we must be willing of the data we are giving to AI. And that brings us to ethical challenges, ethical concerns, and the legal framework. But for us in Nigeria, we have to embrace AI. It's already here, and that is the future. I also want to corroborate what the Vice Chancellor mentioned earlier, that the universities of this age is without border. And then the Minister of Education sometimes ago made a categorical statement, policy statement, that there is no disparity between degrees from open universities and brick and mortar universities. That is parity of esteem, which we've been asking for so long. So I think we have a lot of opportunities to key into in open distance learning and artificial intelligence.
Well,
thank you.
Before I allow Mr. Shikari to speak, at MIVA, you are full-blown 100% open learning environment, isn't it?
Well, we follow the dictate of NUC. What we do is blended learning, technology-mediated open distance learning. There are face-to-face components, and we have components that we do virtually at a distance.
So how much of AI do you use at MIVA?
Yes. You know, what we are saying, AI has been with us for the past 50 years. We've been using it in content gathering, content development, interactive messages, and even recommendation to provide support for learners, guiding and counseling. So we've been using it.
Have you been able to utilize it for learning purposes? You know, because when you use it for administrative purposes, yes, you use it for management purposes, those are different within the university environment, but specifically for the purpose of teaching and students learning.
Well, we've been using it because AI is already embedded in the learning management system. Also, some simulation software AI is already embedded. So we've been using it.
Okay. All right, we'll get to the nitty-gritty. Let me allow Mr. Shikari to, just in your 60 seconds, give us your own overview about the subject matter.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A very good afternoon to you all. I'm from Zimbabwe, Harare Institute of Technology, to be specific. Warm greetings from my professor, Quinton Kanukamwe. Let me just indicate how we are using AI in our institution. Apparently, at the moment, we are actually teaching artificial intelligence to all our students. It is an institute of technology, so it offers different programs. So across all the faculties or across all the schools, we have 5 of them. All students from our institution do artificial intelligence as a course. I am the Dean in the School of Information Science and Technology, so we offer the course. So we tailor-make the course so that each student, let's say it's from chemical engineering, we then draft the course outline so that it suits their needs. Because from Professor Sharma's presentation, you notice that AI cuts across, be it in health, be it in agriculture, everywhere. It is actually the backbone. So if you are doing chemical engineering, we then tailor-make your course outline so that you solve AI-specific problems in your area through that course. Not only AI, we have also introduced big data and analytics as a course that is taken by all students. So this is what we are doing at Harare Institute of Technology regarding AI. But at the moment, we actually have a chatbot. Students can actually interact with that chatbot. Prospective students can ask questions using that chatbot so that at least they can get answers. So AI is here to stay. It's actually time that we embrace it. It's there to actually make our lives easier. It solves complex issues, and also it saves on time, and it gives us real-time solutions. So at the moment, that's basically what I can say regarding what we are doing. But maybe not only that, our master students and also our bachelor students, they also embark on projects like predictive analysis, where I can just take one example, maybe for credit scoring, where we can actually predict the chances of someone defaulting in a loan. But all this rides on data, which I'm sure when we do our discussions, we'll be able to explore. These are some of the challenges that we are facing regarding maybe data sets that really need to be close to home, close to Nigeria, close to Zimbabwe, so that we solve our own real problems. You saw the image that was shown by Professor Sharma, where we were talking about fighting poverty. Did you see who poverty was? It's because of the data set, because AI is garbage in, garbage out. What you train is what you get. That's what I can say at the moment. Thank you.
So the university had to change the curriculum in favor of data analytics and AI. That's what has happened in Zimbabwe, isn't it?
Indeed, at Harare Institute of Technology, we had to revise our curriculum so that we fit in artificial intelligence and big data in our curriculum for all our students across the faculties or schools.
Are you able to provide the, in terms of internet services and systems, because this is also important. You cannot teach some of these subjects or some of these areas without having to give them the requisite tools to be able to. Are you able to provide somewhat a free internet, or how are you able to organize this to aid learning?
Thank you very much. Actually, this discussion will not be meaningful if we do not talk about the digital ecosystem, because it rides on that. AI requires a sound digital ecosystem where we actually have good internet, like what you are saying. But this course, when we offer it, we actually ensure that we localize the data sets so that they can access them locally. But however, I can also mention that we have a big data center that is there in another university, which is the University of Zimbabwe. They can actually, we have a link that is linked to that university. So if we now have large data sets that we now need to model, we will be able to be connected to that center, which is the HPC center.
Thank you so much. Professor Olani, your own experience from now up to where you are right now gives you an opportunity to be able to tell us how this has practically worked from your own point of view. Give us your assessment.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege actually to be at the University of Lagos. I want to thank Professor Dauda and the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ogushola, for this opportunity. Thanks to all the principal officers of the university, the staff and students. Well, I am from the National University of Nigeria. I live at the Mountaintop University. So, serving as the director of the Open and Distance Learning Center. So my presentations, my contributions today will, be centered around the experiences I've had. The National Open University of Nigeria also partners with the National Universities Commission, providing technical support for training at the Virtual Institute for Capacity Building in Higher Education. And in the Institute, I serve as the Deputy Facilitator General Administration. So the experiences I've garnered, I think will help me to try and challenge us at what we should expect and what we should be doing. In Nigeria, I know that we need to think about the infrastructural support for artificial intelligence. When I first got the invitation and I saw invasion, what first hit me was that this is negative invasion. So if we consider it as negative, then we will handle it as negative. But I believe that this colloquium wants it to be considered as having its positive and its negative and a way for us to harmonize all these challenges. And I was delighted before this workshop when Baba Obasanjo said something, and he said we should be thinking about distance teaching. And the Vice Chancellor, corroborated and said that she's already thinking on how the university can actually consider that. In my heart, I had thought of telling us about blended learning and its necessity of bringing it to the brick and mortar system so that the open, flexible distance learning institutes or centers will help us to drive this process. AI is something that we should embrace. because it's a challenge. It's telling us that it's development, and we also must move with development. However, without learner support frame, learner support structure, we may not be able to make good benefit, take benefit of this opportunity. But I know that we have a structure that will help us. In open and distance learning, we know that in Africa, the result that we have, both at NOUN, at UNISA in South Africa, 20% student success. In NOUN, we have close to 700,000 students, and you now tell me that only 20% of those have completed, have succeeded. This is what should actually, be a concern to us. And somebody told me recently, I don't care if I have 1,000 or 1 million people register for an online activity and only 100 of them finishes. That's not good enough. In open, flexible, and distance learning, our passion is for as many people as desire to acquire knowledge to complete the training and actually acquire the knowledge. And we have developed a model, or one of the projects that we have embarked on at the National Open University of Nigeria, which I know also that the University of Lagos also participated in. That's the Partnership for Enhanced and Blended Learning, the West Africa project. We were one of the trainers in NOUN, and we discovered that we have 50% success, which is higher than our regular level of 20%. And then the institutions that participated in that program that we trained went to their institutions to go and train others. And then they had 51% success, validating the model that we developed, and 86% success for students. So there is dichotomy in open and distance learning. We must consider the different categories of people, and we must also use the AI tool to address everyone so that we have success. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I understand that Mr. Peter Ranger has since joined us. Thank you so much for joining in. I guess it will be put on the screen. Okay. Pardon me if I put pressure on you because of the time. I want to manage time as much as possible, but then be able to hammer on the topics. And I understand that there are a lot of professors and teachers in the building. I don't know how much of... Oh, yeah, here you are. Hi, Peter.
Hi there.
Hey, good.
Delighted to join you.
Thank you so much for joining in. There are a lot of people in the auditorium here where we're having this event. If you could give us in 60 seconds your own view about the subject matter, the handshake between open, flexible, and distance learning, and how AI has impacted it.
Thank you. So I think really the key with AI is its ability to provide efficiency and speed in our content development. It allows us to automate and use tools to speed up our research, rewrite content, generate ideas. It provides an extra pair of hands. It also allows us to create more interactive experiences using different types of multimedia. And critically, as colleagues said earlier, the power of data is really important in ensuring consistent learning experiences, and we use that data to drive differentiated learning and ensure high quality assessment outcomes can be maintained. So I think AI has a role to play in various parts of university delivery.
Good. Thank you so much. I think I will begin with you. I was just going to ask teachers and lecturers in the building, how many people, because I recently finished a law program, and part of which I've had to be in a classroom with children of my friends who are children in my class, and having to catch up, finishing 23 years ago from my first degree, and trying to now learn how not to go to the physical library, to go and open the books physically, and almost all the resource materials you have it online and is available. And as soon as a teacher asks a question in class, I see my colleagues in class going on their phone and asking ChatGPT and all the AI devices on what to do. But I wanted to know if anyone has had a problem on issues of plagiarism, issues of copy and paste, when you ask students to do a particular task in class, a live situation where you ask them right in the class and you see them turning to their mobile phones. Have you experienced it? Fantastic. Have you given assignments such that when you're reading the assignment, multiple answers look alike? Do you also have a sense that the AI has specific and standard language of response? I don't know if you have. It's easy to identify that a particular answer is generated from an AI developer, isn't it? All right, these are the issues, and I'm enjoying the fact that a lot of us have this experience. It will allow us to be able to drive the conversation further. Now, we are hammering and staying on the issue of open, flexible, and distance learning. So our focus is very specific, but I'll allow Peter just another 60 seconds to let us know, because AI can only give you what it knows, what the writer of the script, what the developer, what the data available can give. In developing, I know you are an educational development expert. Peter Wenger, give us an understanding of the limitation. So people who are using this tool, what do they need to do for AI to be able to help in open, flexible, and distance learning?
Sure. I like to think of AI as kind of a slightly bad graduate assistant. They're very good at pulling stuff together, synthesizing information, pulling in resources, but you always need moderation and checking. And the most tricky part for me really is understanding its inability to evaluate the quality of sources. It's obviously based on wide, giant data sets, and you don't always know where that data is from. And so often included in those data sets is cultural biases or context. So the tools are very, very useful in terms of generative AI, in terms of pulling together content, rewriting ideas, synthesizing text, translating. But as I say, I tend to treat them as a kind of slightly dodgy assistant who needs a lot of moderation and help. So I kind of see that they're developing over time, but especially when you're working in critical subjects in healthcare like I do, we have to have a real focus on absolute quality and safety in the responses and the information we generate, and that's obviously true for many other subject areas. We don't want to have this fantasy response. We need to ensure that the AI tools are used to help us, but they aren't always entirely reliable because of the data they've been given access to. In health particularly, a lot of the data sets around prescriptions, drug informations and data might not be available to an AI bot because they don't want the world just asking what prescription they should get. So a lot of the data sets are in different areas, and that might be true in, say, construction or other areas where you want protected information. So yeah, and my best way of describing some of the AI generative tools is as a slightly dodgy graduate assistant, and if you treat them in that way, they can be very powerful in speeding up certain tasks, but they do need to be kept an eye on and moderated.
Oh, great. So another issue I'd like us to tackle is the issue of ethics, the issues of legality and privacy. They're very key. What are the ethical implications of AI in the open distance learning from your own point of view?
All right, thank you, Sean. Like I mentioned earlier, this technology relies much more on data. And I also refer to the example given by the keynote speaker, that what data you give, what data are we giving to AI? And if you look at it, as we are seated here, we are all data generators. Because once you sit here, you can get a GPS of your location. You can say you've been here for the past 30 minutes, 1 hour, and whatever you do. And also, you're also generating data about your physical appearance. You're also generating data about your physiological behavior, temperature, blood flow, especially if you are using smartphones, smart devices. So what this means is that there is need for people awareness first to understand that we are generating data. And also that we are also data controllers. While we are generating data, we are also giving out data out. Because if I take picture here, I'm already taking everybody's picture and I share it to my social media. Everybody has that information. Picture of different faces. But have I taken consent from people who are in that picture? Anything can happen to that. So we need to look at those concerns of privacy and data security. The first thing is, are we getting consent from people? Do they understand what we want to use the data for? For example, the video we watched, the guy was providing data to AI, but was not sure what AI could do with the data. And so what we're saying is that we should know the clarity of what we want to do with the data, and also consistency. There are 5 C's to look at data ethic. The first one is get consent. Clarity, let user know what you want to do with the data, how you want to store it. Then consistency means you must use the data according to the first step and second step. So the next thing is control. Can the user still have control over their data? Oh, I don't want to give you my data again. Can I delete it? What do you want to do with the data? How long do you want to keep it? Then the last one is consequences. That is, yes, there could be error in AI. AI can create error. But how do we will be liable? Who will be responsible? So we are able to take care of all this, and also the data security. How are we securing our infrastructure? How are we encrypting our data? Who is having access? The authentication. So if we are able to take care of all this, especially data and privacy security, we'll be able to solve some of the problems.
So Mr. Shikawe, copyright issues of human rights, issues of referencing. For learning purposes, you can't do research without proper referencing. Is AI that intelligent to be able to help you do that? What's your own view?
All right.
Ethical issues and open.
Thank you very much. It's quite unfortunate that this is a very broad subject. The moment we talk about AI, maybe someone might think of robots, computer vision, but it's a lot, machine learning, deep learning. But it's okay, I'll trim it down to your question. Your concern is about referencing. Yeah. Do you know that ever since time immemorial, we've been learning and we've been riding on the shoulders of giants? There were human beings, now it's just that it's now ChatGPT and it's artificial intelligence. So when you do your research, we've been citing people's work, books, journals. This is someone who did or who wrote their own concept, and we depict that and we cite. Sometimes we go on the internet without the artificial intelligence. Just an ordinary Google search, you go there, then you copy and paste. We've been doing that without AI. But now the challenge is, it's now we are copying from an artificial intelligence tool. It's now an issue. We really need to adapt as academia and ensure that if a student uses this tool, because it is an enabler, we cannot run away from it. So if a student uses this tool, are they referencing it? Because we have always been riding on the shoulders of the giants. We haven't been copying and pasting and allowing it to go. So you cannot ask ChatGPT to write your assignment and you bring it to me as raw as it is. What have you done on the assignment? It's okay for you to get an insight from ChatGPT because it's a knowledge base. What is teaching? It's more like osmosis. It's movement of knowledge from region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. So what's the problem? If AI is not the region of higher concentration, where is the problem? I'm the facilitator. I make sure that my student does not give it to me raw. So it means we really need to up the game and allow referencing to be done. And they should do it because this is the knowledge base we are talking about. We cannot run away from it, but we need to adopt it.
Prof, from your own experience, the ethics issue, the issues of how to use the handshake, ethical issues.
Thank you very much. It's not possible for us to work with AI without having policies in place. So to make sure we circumvent a number of ethical issues, we must have right policies in place. So this is the time for us to start bringing together what we need and what we should acquire. This is the time for us to start putting together the policy guidelines that will support the implementation of the use of AI tools for teaching and learning. So, ethics, yes, but when we have policies in place, it will also prevent a number of unpalatable side effects of the use of AI. Thank you.
All right. I want us, we just have about 4 minutes or thereabout to close this session. And I want us to talk about, just in less than 1 minute each, the future of the open distance learning and AI. Is it taking the jobs of the teachers or the facilitators or the educators? And what do you think could be done? Let me begin from Professor Olani.
Thank you very much. It's the job of everybody. It's the job of the managers, it's the job of the facilitators, it's the job of the students. We must have the right infrastructure in place, the environment should be right, and we must also educate ourselves. We must consider learning and relearning. We must be deliberate about this. We must be focused and we must be planned. We need to have a gap analysis to see where we are lacking and to project where we want to go and how we want to get there. It's important for us to have this at the back of our minds and to consciously work towards it. Right. So everybody needs to be involved.
So AI is not taking anybody's job. Do you agree? Okay. AI is not taking anybody's job.
AI is not taking anyone's job. But maybe the way that I can live in the house today is, if you fail to adapt, then somebody who has appreciated AI is going to take your job. So AI is not the one that is taking your job.
Teachers need to start learning and incorporating.
Of course, if you do not adapt, then someone who has adapted and has appreciated AI is the one. So AI is not your threat. Your threat is someone who has adopted AI. Oh. This is the person that is going to overtake. Right. But just maybe to also indicate that it's unfortunate that when we think about AI, we just think about plagiarism. Let me also just indicate that there are other tools that we can use in academia that can help us. For example, connected papers. I have a base paper that I'm doing a research. If I throw that on the internet or on the tool, it can connect me to so many papers in real time. What's better about it? Right. The papers are there. Yeah. I read them. I summarize. So it's an enabler. We need to embrace it.
Professor Olorun, the future, just in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, thank you so much. The future is actually bright if we are willing to work with passion and to support. We've seen this in the past 2-3 decades. For example, the distinguished guest speaker of today was able to show, to put his passion and support so that open distance learning could have a strong footing in Nigeria. And for me, I'm one of the persons that is benefiting this today. So I want to give kudos to him and other people who supported that. And if you can allow us to give a standing ovation to him, because look at the growth of open distance learning in Nigeria. We have 5 open universities and 28 distance learning centers in Nigeria. It's actually not enough, because I know there is no competition here. Right. The market is huge. And secondly, when you look at it, we need to come as a community to champion this AI, because it requires a community to train a child. And AI is actually our child. Right. We must be involved to develop it.
Let me allow Peter to send us off the stage. Just in 30 seconds, the future. What should we be looking at to effectively use AI for open distance learning?
Well, thank you. If I could just respond to the point about us losing our jobs. As an instructional designer, I think our jobs are just getting more and more advanced, and our role is really to create rich learning experiences that develop both the knowledge, attitudes and skills of learners, especially as lifelong learners, to be the future workforce. And I think when we're talking about the subject, we often focus in on content and knowledge, but as a university, you're developing the graduates of the future. And as the colleagues were saying saying before, those graduates are going to need the skills in the use of AI themselves. So the future is about building in recognition of the strengths and weaknesses of the tools that we use in the workforce into university provision. And as an instructional designer, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm trying tools every day to see if I can help create better learning experiences for my students, just as I'm hoping the courses I work on will create future lifelong learners for their future professions. So I think it's a constant process of lifelong learning and integrating the benefits of AI as a tool in the design of our courses, but also recognising how we should learn from industry and see how the use of AI in industry can feed back into university education.
Peter Ranger is an education development expert. Professor Tayo Arulogun is the Vice Chancellor of Whither Open University. Ms. Rachel Shikare is a computer and data science researcher. And Professor Muniolua Olani, a pioneer BVC, technology and innovation at the National Open University of Nigeria. Thank you so much, distinguished discussant, for this opportunity that you have given everyone to learn from your depth of knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not coincidence that on the 50th anniversary of distant learning in the University of Lagos, the man that took the bull by the horn, about 20 years after a former head of state in about 1983 or so, cancelled that concept. He came into power, signed it on. Not only that he signed it on, a lot of people poked fun at him when he registered as a student. Not only did he do one degree, he did multiple degrees in it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an opportunity for us to give a standing ovation to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo for that idea and taking the bull by the horn. Let's give him a round of applause. It's a vision and it's a dream that it now looks like a fantastic idea to the rest of the world. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Please be seated. One thing we haven't mentioned so far is how AI can take your job by impersonating you. Everybody will think it is you, but they don't know that it's not you. Anyway, the last presentation to be made today is going to be made by Chief Dr. No. Well, he's going to be talking about his journey in ODL ecosystem. Who am I talking about? Please, let's have that opening citation, please. Media.
GCFR served as Nigeria's head of state from 1976 to 1979 and later as Nigeria's president from 1999 to 2007. Chief Obasanjo is a globally recognized statesman and a passionate advocate for open and distance education, as well as sustainable agriculture, among other causes. During his tenure, Chief Obasanjo achieved significant progress in economic reform, education, democratic governance, and international diplomacy. His efforts were focused on improving infrastructure and promoting political inclusivity. Aside from his political contributions, Chief Obasanjo emphasized the importance of expanding access to higher education for Nigerians. This led to the revival of the National Open University of Nigeria in 1999. Additionally, he established the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library and multiple learning centers in Nigerian higher institutions to honor his exemplary leadership and educational impact in Nigeria and Africa. Chief Obasanjo's influence extends globally through his involvement in international organizations such as the African Union and the United Nations, where he has been instrumental in shaping strategies to combat illiteracy and promote flexible education for all Nigerians. As an author, Chief Obasanjo has written many books to his credit, such as My Watch, My Command, The Animal Called Man, A New Dawn, and Not My Will, to to mention a few. In 2007, Chief Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo earned a PhD in Christian theology from the National Open University of Nigeria. Please join us in welcoming Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, a leader dedicated to serving God and humanity.
Sir, before you come, sir, my late dad told me one day I was going to be standing very close to you. I was going to be taking a picture with you, and I was going to incident this. Ladies and gentlemen, my late dad will be rolling in the grave now that your dream has finally come to pass. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
Please be seated. Let me thank the Vice Chancellor for the opportunity to be with you. But let me express my apologies to all of you that I will not be able to stay with you to the end of this program. A very, very stimulating and very important program. Let me also thank Professor Rizikat Dauda, who had put all these together. And as I said in the Vice Chancellor's office earlier today, the only thing that qualified me to be here is that when people were getting PhD at the age of 24, 25, 26, I got mine at the age of 80. I will come back to that because people thought, and I said it even in the Vice Chancellor's office, that by the time I got my PhD, 8 of my children have got PhD. And when I got mine, they were debating whether I should be congratulated or not. So the conclusion, the agreement they reached among themselves was that they will congratulate me, but from then on, we will put the date we get our PhD after our name, because they will then be senior to me. But on a very serious note, I want to thank Professor Jagade for your remark about what we achieved together, because you granted me admission and you made sure that I was very well supervised. But some people have asked me, why did you go in to study in the Open University? Because it was not popular at that time. There was even prejudice and bias against Open University as an inferior institution of learning. I've had that twice in my life.
when I was asking people to take to farming, agribusiness, people said, who will dirty his hand? Who will go to a back-breaking job of farming? And I thought the best thing to do is for me to go into farming and teach people by example. Then I went into farming. I suffered for it. I went to Canada once, and my friend who invited me to Canada, I got the date wrong. I arrived in Canada a day earlier than my friend was expecting me. And when I got to Canada, at the immigration I was asked, in my passport, my occupation is farming, and it's still there till today. So the immigration officer said, who are you? I said, I'm a farmer. A farmer from Nigeria. I said, yes. And what are you doing here? I said, I come to see a friend. I said, a farmer from Nigeria coming to Canada to see a friend? Hey, come this side. I was kept there for almost 2.5 hours until my friend came, because I give them the telephone number of my friend. My friend came, and my friend, of course, explained, and then I was allowed to come out. And my friend said, look, what did you call yourself? You didn't say you are former head of state. By then I have been former. I said, no, I call myself a farmer. He said, oh no! Now, if you didn't call yourself a former head of state, why didn't you call yourself, you are in agribusiness? They will have opened the door for you. And he said to me, a farmer here is worse than a peasant farmer in your country. That's why they shunt you aside. Well, I learned my lesson, but I haven't changed. I believe that if you have a lesson to teach, then practice what you teach. It then will sink in. I do the same thing. I do the same thing with Open University, open and distance learning. If as at today, and it even was then, if as today, with 273 universities, 5 open universities, we can only admit 1/3 of those who are qualified for admission in our universities and institutions of our learning, then we have a problem. In spite of 5 open universities. So when I brought Professor Jegede back, where he was enjoying himself in Hong Kong, to come and help us with Open University. I wasn't regarding Open University and distance education as inferior. I was putting it on the same pedestal as world universities. And if I am doing that, how can I prove that what I'm asking people to do is also what I believe I should do for myself? So I enrolled. What I preach is also what I practice. And it worked out. Today, as we have heard from the Vice Chancellor of this great university, there will be no distinction between distance learning certificate and World University Learning Certificate. Woe betide anybody who said my own university degree was inferior. I will not accept that. And the reasons why I will not accept that. The man who supervised me, or the two supervisors that I had for my PhD were distinguished academicians. And one has supervised more than a dozen PhDs in world universities. And he supervised me as he supervised others who have got PhD before me under his supervision. So why should I feel inferior? Or why should you feel or tell me that my certificate is inferior? And that the prejudice, the bias, I am very happy, is disappearing. And I believe sooner than later it will completely disappear. The point, of course, which we have heard from the keynote lecturer and from all that we have heard this morning and this afternoon, is that we have a little bit of educational crisis. And AI must be one of the tools that we will use to get us out of this crisis. The first crisis is the crisis of over 20 million Nigerian children that should be in school that are out of school. We don't need an oracle to say to us that these will be where you will get your recruits for Boko Haram 12 and 15 years from now, if we don't do anything about them. And from what we have heard and what we have seen of AI can be used as an instrument to help us in solving that problem if we will take appropriate action to use AI to help us solve that problem. Then I come to the one I mentioned earlier on, the 2/3 of the youth who are seeking admission in university and institutions of higher learning and who are not getting. What are we going to do with them? At one time or the other, they will want to. I'm not talking of those who want to top up their education. And their education, both formal and informal, is from cradle to grave. Then anybody who wants to top up or who want to have something different should be able to do it. AI, open and distance learning, is the means by which we will be able to do this. Once again, I want to thank the Vice Chancellor. This morning in our office, when we were talking about open and distance learning and I talk of distance teaching, she immediately embraced it and she said, now this will solve part of our problem for accommodation, for transportation, and of course for enlargement of teaching staff. Those that have fallen out may be able to come in. One good thing that University of Lagos University is doing is you are innovative. The Vice Chancellor came to me and we were talking about agriculture. And you came up with the idea of city agriculture, which means that in your house, in your kitchen, you can grow vegetable. You can grow things that will be part of very important diet on your table. I thank you very much for the opportunity you have given me for the 3rd International Colloquium.
Thank you, sir.
Distinguished guests, it's my singular honor and delight to respectfully hand over the microphone to the number 1 citizen of University of Lagos, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Folashade Tolulope Ogushola, OON FAS, to please do this amazing presentation to the distinguished Nigerian and former President of Nigeria.
Thank you. On behalf of the staff, students, first of the Distance Learning Institute and of the University of Lagos, we want to present this to you and to thank you for being an inspiration and for being a champion of access to education for everybody. Thank you very much for being who you preach.
Before he moves up, we'll just run through this. We'll push this cake to the center. Unilag Distance Learning Institute is 50 years, and so it's fitting enough that he helps us cut this cake. Professor Abayomi Okolao.
Both of you will do the cutting.
You have to join us.
Yeah.
To be iconic.
Yeah, well, you said I will join. When you get order from the VC, it must be obeyed. Yeah. The previous, the past VC is Ogundipe.
Yes, he should be.
Is he here?
Oh, he's gone. Okay.
He's gone. And the previous head of the Distance Learning Institute. Oh, yeah, he's here. Yes, the.
Okay. Oh, he's gone. He's left. Some people can stand here.
We can have some. Okay. Yeah.
You can be on the stairs.
Okay.
Let them pass.
Well, let me count up to 50. 1, 2, 40, 45, 48. Yeah. 49, you point your hands at the cake if you cannot touch the cake. 50.
I hope the Open University has a class for farmers.
Miss Ayo, we need to talk about the symbolic thing happening on stage. Chief Dr. Olusegun Matthew Okikiola Ogunboye Aremu Obasanjo, GCFR, former military president and former democratically elected president, is cutting cake for everybody, showing our fatherly love. Miss Ayo, we must not be from this cake. Sir. All right. That was unique. Cutting cake for everybody. He has always demonstrated an act.
I've just taken my own national cake. Let all planning committee members please come forward. All planning committee members, just come forward. Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Ayo, something symbolic that we all must also talk about. Chief.
Thank you very much, Nigerian Army Band. Well, let's just say that that session is over. Can I call Dr. Folashade Afolabi for the vote of thanks? Dr. Folashade Afolabi, vote of thanks, please. Can we all please be seated? Let's be seated for a moment or two. Please, let's be seated. Thank you very much, Nigerian Army.
I'm not wearing yellow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, can we have a seat?
Let's all please be seated for about 60 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's be seated for about 60 seconds. Thank you. Dr. Folashade Afolabi will give the vote of thanks right now.
I feel so honored and privileged to have the opportunity to give a vote of thanks for this special occasion. I, on behalf of the DLI Management Board, Director, staff and students, and the organizing committee convey a deep regard and hearty thanks to everyone that have graced this occasion. My special appreciation goes to the Vice Chancellor and our management team, Professor Folashade Ogunshola. Ma, in absentia, you have made us proud for supporting us and for giving us the approval to hold this occasion. My unflinching appreciation also goes to the former President, Chief Dr. Olusegun Okikiola Obasanjo, for gracing this occasion. Baba, you have always made us proud, and your leadership style and vision also make a way for a brighter and more prosperous future for we Nigerians and Africans in general. Thank you for your tireless efforts and for making the well-being of our nation your utmost priority. I must especially thank also the Professor Kabir, the chairman of the occasion, Professor Ishiak Kabir. Sir, you've been so wonderful. You are a father and a friend indeed. Thank you so much, all the way from Kano State. Thank you, sir. He is the president of Nigerian Academy of Education. And to Professor Ramashama, you are so wonderful. I can never forget you. Our path crossed some few years ago, and what happened was I submitted an article for publication in one of your journals. And after the review of the publication, I made up my mind that I'm not going to publish with you again. And every day, you will send a message into my mail. And he said, please, do the correction and resubmit for publication. I said, I'm not going to do that. Until one day, as I was working, one call just came, and the call was from Indian, and it was you. You spoke passionately, and you said, no matter what happened, you must publish this paper with me. And ever since then, you've been so, I appreciate you so much. And even coming to grace this occasion, I understood what you went through. You didn't want to come, but it is God's ordained that you must be here. Please appreciate this wonderful man. And our regards to your wife for being supportive, and to Indira Gandhi University. Our partnership is just starting. These are regards to your Vice Chancellor and your team over there. And to Colonel Major General A.B. Shaw, he has left. He's a wonderful man. I used to call him a clean man. When you visit this man, you will know that the man is very clean. As they said, cleanliness is next to godliness. To our panel of discussants, you've been so wonderful. Let me start with Professor Tayo Arologun. Sir, you are so fantastic. Very, very fantastic. You have been with us since yesterday. You are just like a God sent. I got to know Professor Arologun when there was, we had a little crisis. The person that's supposed to take that panel discussion said he had an urgent call in the United States and had to leave immediately. I called him, and it was like I thought I wanted a speaker, a discussant, and a person that will take up the workshop, but I got a friend in you. Thank you very much, sir. I can never forget you. To our regulator, Ma, we appreciate you for coming, and also we thank you, and then we want to especially congratulate you on your new appointment, Ma. Ma, we wish you a successful tenure in the office. Thank you very much. Our very own Professor Moni Oluwa Olaniyi, thank you, Ma, for coming. And also, I want to appreciate especially our respected emeritus Professor Olugbemiro Jegede. Sir, since the start of the colloquium, sir, you have been supportive. Every time we call on you, whether night, I could remember sometimes I had to wake you up around 1 a.m. 2 a.m. in the midnight. I will call you and continue calling until pick your call. Thank you very much, sir. I cannot forget all what you do, sir. And to the moderator, the pilot, I have a good friend over there, Rachel Chikore from Zimbabwe. Thank you for coming to Nigeria. This is your first time in Nigeria. You can see that Nigerians are warm, we are hospitable, and Nigeria, we are friendly. Thank you very much for coming. How do you from Nigeria? She's a Nollywood fan. She has told me the films I've not watched. She narrated everything and named all the characters in the film. Thank you, ma. With regards to your president and to your university when you go back. Thank you very much. And also, I must appreciate Minister Sheung Okinbaloye, the pilot of this event. Sheung is a brother and it's been so wonderful. Even despite his tight schedule, he found his way to Lagos to come and honor our invitation. Thank you very much. To the deans, I can see the deans of social science, deans and directors here, and the chairman board of DLI. Sir, thank you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. And we have other dignitaries, our sisters institutions, they are here. We have Professor Gani from Lautech. Please, if you are here, our sisters institutions, Ife, please, thank you very much. And Ladokia Kintola University, I think I saw one of them. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. Then we have other ones. Please wave your hands. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you. And to HODs, deans and directors, thank you. Thank you very much. Our alumni, the DLI alumni, please wave your hand wherever you are. The DELISA, greatest Nigerian students. Where are you? DELISA executive, please rise for recognition. Thank you very much for supporting us. The technical team, thank you. We appreciate you. University of Lagos Communication Department, please make some noise. Thank you. The security unit, please make some noise. The security unit. And to our sponsors, please rise wherever you are. We have the gold sponsors, the silver, and the bronze. Please stand up for recognition. Wave your hands. Thank you very much. Thank you for donating to support this occasion. We have our partner also, Rizzo. Thank you. DLI staff, you have been so wonderful. DLI staff, please wave your hands wherever you are. Stand up for recognition. You've been so wonderful. Thank you. Please rise. And to my team, I cannot forget the military band. Military band, please make some noise with your instrument. Thank you very much. Then I must appreciate my team, the organizing committee. Please, wherever you are, please stand and come to the front. Please stand. If you are part of this organizing team, please come. Please come and join me on the podium. Come and join. An event like this does just happen. It's because of their hard work. These people will work day and night for the success of this program. Thank you very much. Please come on stage, please, quickly, come and show your faces. These are wonderful people. These are wonderful people. They need to be celebrated. Please, photographer, please. I would like our emeritus professor and all the members of the high table, please join us here. And I also have in the house the founder of New World University, Steve Foster. Please join us on the stage too. Professor Ishiak and Professor Namash, please come. Rachel Chikere, can you be on the stage? Please, ma. Everybody, please come. Professor Tayo Arulogo, you are still my friend, so please come upstairs, sir. And I must appreciate the president of International Council of Distance Education, Professor Mark Nico. He's a great friend. He's a wonderful friend. He named me, he christened me. He used to call me my friend. And the man has even forgotten my name. When he mentioned my name during his Goodwill message, I was so surprised. It's a wonderful person. And if you are still online, thank you very much, Professor Mark. I appreciate you. To all our online participants, thank you for the honor. Thank you for being on the Zoom platform. Thank you for honoring us. You've been so wonderful. And to the MC of the day, I will join them. I must appreciate you especially. Mr. Sheung Ajidagba. Thank you very much. And that is my wonderful director coming. She supported us. Thank you, ma. Mr. Sheung Ajidagba. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I just called you just a minute to the program and you answered. And likewise, our Mr. Ayo Makinde. Thank you, sir. Thank you, God will honor you. Thank you. It was just yesterday I contacted you and then you answered. God will honor you. From grace, grace, and grace. Thank you very much, sir. And to TVC crew.
Go and take photo first. When you finish taking photo, you will now do email to all of us to thank us for thanking us. Thank you very much. We thank you too. All right. Well, as you can see, her thanks is not going to end today.
Yes.
So while that is going on, I'm going to count. Are we done? Yes. Thank you very much, everybody. So let's rise for the closing prayer, which again is the third stanza of the national anthem. As you did earlier, thank you very much, media team.
Don't worry, I know what you wanted to say. The protocol team of University of Lagos, led by Latifa Adekola, don't worry.
Please, because next time they will not allow me to see the Vice Chancellor. The protocol unit of University of Lagos, thank you very much. You are so wonderful.
Thank you.
Everybody here, please, if I have not mentioned you, it was just an oversight. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you. We appreciate you too. All right. So let's say the closing prayer. 3, 2, go. Okay, thank you for that cacophony. Now, can we say it properly? 3, 2, go. Oh God of all creation, go. Please bring it back in the interest of peace and stability. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty Nigeria may be blessed.
Thank you. Unilag anthem.
The national anthem.
No, Unilag anthem.
University of Lagos, the rising sun, our fountain of excellence, our citadel of learning, Padilla to front, home of sound mind. Rise beyond the skies. Our nation is to uphold a great heritage. We are the nation's pride. First choice is scholarship and excellence. It's knowledge and character. Producing exemplary global leaders, God bless Unilag. Indeed and in truth, we rise beyond the skies. Our nation is to uphold a great heritage. We are the nation's pride. Indeed and in truth, beyond the skies, our nation is the uphold a great heritage. We are the nation's pride.
national anthem. Until the next International Colloquium, thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much.